It's hard to think about what to say about Dave. We definitely wouldn't be here without him. I remember very fondly the first time we met. You might have been wearing that same Buffy.
I almost wore that today, but it's got a messed up collar.
Alas. But I knew from like day one that you were destined to achieve very great things. Your confidence, professionalism, has just always been absolutely remarkable, and we've achieved really great things under your leadership. I'm always going to be really grateful for it. This company will always be grateful for it. And probably the most amazing thing that you've done, in addition to building the whole first version of RaiseMe on your own, is build this really great team that's going to continue your work after you go on to do what's next. We're really excited to see what that entails. Some things for people that maybe weren't here before. Dave has literally walked on water before, so he has, so you can ask him about that. He's also going to retire from RaiseMe as the reigning pull-up champion. Although I think this guy might be coming for you.
Yeah, no. You're not.
That's all right. You retired with the championship.
So, and I know we all have like tons of really fond memories of our time working together, and so just want to raise a glass to you. Also, make sure you don't escape without another Jameson shot.
Let me down this real quick, and then I'll say something. I have no idea what I'm going to say. I'm just drunk. I said earlier in the Eng meeting that I didn't want to say anything until I was drunk enough not to cry or drunk enough not to care if I was crying. So we'll see what happens. You know, back when I joined, like, you know, it was Dave and Graham, and Dave, you know, instantly, he did so many amazing things that taught me how to be a leader. The biggest of which was like step out of the way and let people make mistakes. Let me make mistakes. Let everyone else on the team do that. When he knew the right course of action, or what to him was the right course of action, he would counsel us and ask us questions and make sure that we were thoughtful about our approach, but ultimately let us own things. He knew that the engineering team that he built were the people who were going to continue to own and build upon what he had started. And I think that's a really hard thing to do. It's hard to give up, as he says, give up your Legos and let someone else play with them. And when you have a vision of the right way to do something, like, that's just really hard. And at this point, he's given up all his Legos, which is why he can leave in peace. And if he hadn't done that, like, I would be a different person. If he hadn't been there for me in a lot of ways, like, I would be different. Graham wouldn't be out with having raised $1 million for his own company, kicking ass on the blockchain, and like all of the rest of us wouldn't have grown the way that we have. The company wouldn't be where it is, and I don't know. That's just really special. You're always gonna be my friend, Dave, and you can't escape me. You'll have to deal with the consequences of that forever. But I hope for new people, like, that you just know that Dave has been, like, he's just good in a way that so many people have a hard time being. Like, he just is consistently himself and holds true all of his principles, and has helped the culture of RaiseMe really embody a lot of the things that he brought to the table and will carry on. So thanks so much, Dave. I'll see you.
Oh, yeah.
April, your turn.
Well, Dave, I wrote you an email before, hoping that you would still get it. I don't know if you did you? So it was like it was like 4:30, and I was like, oh God, did you return it in? I do want to say something. I think that, like, as somebody who didn't work directly with you, it was like your influence on the team professionally, emotionally, just as a leader is completely evident. And I'm just gonna miss all of our talks about working out intensely, dogs, board games, and all of the above. So I'm just gonna miss you. Cheers. So cheers. I think Mark wants to say something.
Yeah, I agree.
No, I mean, honestly, glad he gave the kid a chance. I mean, I had zero experience when I joined here. I think I lied and said I did something like not really.
LinkedIn.
You guys had some serious jam session.
Yeah, and that was awesome. No, but internally grateful you gave someone zero experience, which is a huge risk. I thought it was weird. I remember 2 weeks after interviewing, we were rejecting people with PhDs from Stanford because they weren't cool. And I mean, I learned massively. Yeah. No, that's all I gotta say is thank you. Yeah, yeah.
Always learning.
Get on in here.
Oh, man. Gotta get my fill here. God, let's think. Let me think. They turn on the music because they know I don't have anything insightful to say. So, God, Dave, we go so far back, man. Good times. The thing about Dave is he's always good for a good t-shirt. Whenever you see him, amazing t-shirts. There's a rotation. Buffy, Kai.
This one's been around for a while.
That one's been around for a while. The thing, Dave and I have bonded on a lot of things over the years, one being diets and exercise. There was a point when we used to create butter coffee in the office, and everyone looked at us and thought we were crazy when we put a stick of butter into a blender and made it. We used to go to, at one point we used to go to Frites and have hamburgers with cheese and bacon on them. That was part of our diet, mind you.
With no buts.
No buns. But I think the amazing thing about Dave, and the thing that's very different about the two of us, which means I'm very bad at this, is that Dave works his ass off, but he tries to pretend to his team that he's not. Dave is constantly working, but he pretends that he's not. And if he's not working out or with his kids, he's working. And during the beginning years, I was just ringing the bell, hey everyone, I'm working my ass off, keep up with me. And Dave was working his ass off, but he wasn't showing off about it, he wasn't telling anyone. I think that takes something really special, and that shows a tremendous amount of leadership. And I think that that's one of the things that I appreciate most about you. Dave's also an amazing father. So he's got amazing kids. I went to, is it a bar or bar mitzvah if you're a boy?
Bar mitzvah.
Yeah, I went to a bar mitzvah. And
After it's my choice.
yeah,
Played some bocce.
played some bocce ball, but Dave doesn't hide it, that he is a true family man. This guy supports his wife's spin addiction.
She's there right now.
Yeah, she's there right now, probably with Danielle. Takes care of his wife. Your wife had, a business for a long time that you supported. Builds games with his kids, takes him to practice, falls asleep with his kids every night to, make sure that they know that he's there and he's supportive. And that's another thing that I just really appreciate about you. And I think that it's something that, you put you put that as a priority, and I think that's important to be able to be a founder and be a CTO at a company and also be an amazing father. And so that's another thing that I really love about you and that I will try to emulate with little Sophia. Yeah, that's it. What else about Dave?
I'm good. I gotta go.
I got more. What else? I think Dave, well, it might devolve from here, but no. So the other thing that's interesting about Dave is initially Dave kind of thought that RaiseMe was like another consulting job, and so me and Preston were the client, and he would always manage our expectations. And finally, at one point, we had to tell Dave, we're like, Dave, like, this is your company, man. Like, you don't have to manage our expectations anymore. This isn't like another consulting deal. And I think, Dave took a chance on RaiseMe. He went and did something that he's never done before. He followed his heart, and for a long time, he thought his equity would be worth nothing. So he was just working for his salary. And I think I'm just so excited that, we sold you. We said, Dave, like, this is going to be worth something one day. Like, your efforts, your equity is going to be worth something. And coming from an engineering background, you never think it's worth something. And I'm so glad that this company has grown to where it is, to where you'll be able to walk away with, some value and some equity. And everyone here will be. But I'm glad you believed in us because you took a big chance. And the last thing I'll just say is Dave, his integrity is amazing. The way that he believes in being fair, he believes in pushing back when he thinks he's right, pushing back on behalf of other people, and I think that we really appreciated that in SLT, having him there, to make sure that people are treated fairly and that everyone's paid fairly and everyone's advocated for, and we'll really miss that in SLT. Love you, man.
Cheers.
I'm gonna go before you. I'll go before you. Oh, wait. Okay. So Dave has only made me cry one other time. In what will be known as the caseloads debacle of 2017.
Oh, yeah.
But I am forever grateful for that because I went from a place where early 2016, Dave walked into a room and like we never would talk, and then beginning of like late 2016, like early 2017, one time Dave walked in and was like, Claire, and I remember being like, I'm sorry, what?
Claire!
And I feel like you've helped me in so many ways, like become this person who can communicate technically with the best of them while still not knowing if it's the RDS or RDS, and you've always like respected me and recognized that like this is something I can learn and something I can understand and something I can contribute to. And I feel like you opened so many doors for me as I've entered into this more technical role for me, and we went from this place of me being shocked that you even said my name and asked me a question to going on long walks where you would get entirely lost in the mission and I would direct us back to the office. But you would help me cut my teeth as a PM, and you offered everything, whatever you had to offer, your network, your advice, your whatever you could do. And like the first day that I took on the role, you were like, people might say like, congrats, it's gonna be great. You're like, this is gonna be fucking hard. And it has been, and I've learned so much from you. And I said, you're only gonna make me cry one time, so thank you.
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
So for the record, David's made me cry. So this time is a lot easier for me because I've been doing startups for a while, and there's always transitions that you go through that, to me, like if you've never been through them, seem like the world's ending. But it's the nature of the beast. And so, as an engineering manager, you pride yourself in building great teams. And I look around at the group compared to when I walked in the door to now, and just the across the board strength and capability is so much more and so much better every time. That's a direct result of where we started, right? So you're leaving a team that's getting really good. And we'll be a team people will start saying, oh, remember that team back in the day? They were awesome. And one thing that really strikes me is how many people are really good, and this is their first job, right? So there's people who've never, walked in the door, never been part of the software company, and are really good at it now. And that's a direct result of the framework you laid, the ethos that you gave everyone, and why we're really good. It all started there at the kitchen table when it was the three of you, and you were his client, and now look where we are. I mean, for me, it's like that's, you should just drop the mic, and become, a board game like magnet. Yeah. So to you.
Cheers. I'm gonna be next in line.
Great, Scott.
Okay, I haven't known you as long as many of the other people in this room, obviously, but I felt that we hit it off from the very first moment that we got a chance to talk. And that was a huge part of my saying, this is a group of people that I would love to come and join. And when I was interviewing, Dave did a remote interview. And so he was at his home office, so I was at my home office, and we were talking about the company, we were talking about how to build great product, build great teams, we were talking about the mission, then we started talking about music, and we picked our computers up, and we were like, well, these are my guitars over here. And he was like, those are my guitars over here, and he's like, this is my drum set. I'm like, well, this is my drum set. And he asked me this great question. He was like, how do I know I don't want to hire you just because you're so much like me? I was like, I really don't know how to answer that objection. But it's been amazing. It's been fulfilling. I have really taken so much inspiration from you about the mission of the company and about the opportunity that lies ahead of us. And I'm incredibly excited to help carry forward what it is that you've built, that you have really invested your time in. I also have to say, I don't know who else is going to get my movie quote. I don't know who else is going to really...
When you're listening to the Blue Oyster Bar.
I was going to say, there's really only one way I can tell you how much I love you. And it's that.
The Blue Oyster Bar.
It is the Blue Oyster Bar scene. And yes, so I'm walking, if nobody has seen Police Academy, it's one of the best goddamn scenes in movie history. And I'm walking through the office, and I'm just picking along to myself. He's right behind me, and I start going, and he says, you're just whistling. Wait, no, I'll tell you what you were just whistling. You were whistling the theme from the Blue Oyster Club from Police Academy. And I said, yes! So that, my friend, is the experience I've had with you every single day, every single meeting that we've had a chance to work together. I wish you nothing but the best, and I'm grateful for the time. Cheers!
I'm going. So, reflecting also on my interview with Dave, there was some random third-party recruiter who reached out to me to work at this company.
Neil.
Yeah.
Acquired.
Yes, exactly. That's the guy. And I played it really cool, I think, when I was interviewing. I kind of acted like, are you guys good enough for me? But in reality, I was like in love with what you guys were doing, and I thought it was the most amazing, just like a great opportunity. And I stalked everybody who interviewed me. I read where you went to college. I looked all through your LinkedIn. For you, I found, I think it was called Dave Soft, maybe? Dave World. And it's like the game company that you had formed, and you made an iOS game, which was a twin stick shooter, very similar to one called Robotron 2048. Yes, Starpod.
What about the chicken game?
I downloaded it, paid the $1 for it, so you're welcome.
That paid the bills that month.
Yeah. First thing I got when I opened it was, this game is not optimized for your phone. But it was fun, and I was impressed. And when we had our interview, and you knew the game that I was talking about, I knew the game you were talking about, and we had a very honest, kind of friendly conversation. I think that kind of set the tone for the rest of our relationship. I have worked at a company that was the size of Raise when I joined. When I joined Raise, it was 9 people. I worked at a 9-person company. I worked at a company the size of Raise now. That was Edmodo. Never have I worked in that stage between, and that is a really hard stage for anyone who's been through it. Every stage is hard, but that's one that I've never been through, and a lot of the chaos throughout those couple of early years, being able to go to you as kind of a emotional support, where I'd say, hey, Preston has got this crazy idea. George has a completely different crazy idea. How the hell do I manage this? And you kind of just giving me like it's all right, the world is not ending. Man, that was like ridiculously powerful. I know you're not just an engineering manager. You're just like a good friend. I also know we're going to do great things, but wow, I mean, yeah, I appreciate every bit of it. So yeah, I look forward to staying in touch. God damn, I can't believe this is happening right now. Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, I'll say one more thing. So Dave taught me, one of the things Dave taught me was to shut the fuck up and like listen more. And so don't take it as like his failure that I'm continuing to talk. There's just so much to say about this guy that's like phenomenal, you know. And like it's really true, you know, the fact that I tried to say earlier and I just can't express enough is that he came in and like listened. And so many leaders think they know best. And a lot of times they do, but it doesn't matter, right? Like the thing that there might be better managers, I'm not sure, but there aren't really better leaders than what Dave was. Like he really believed in trusting in his people and giving them latitude to grow, giving them latitude to make mistakes, and like listening to them, understanding and guiding them. And every single one of us, like at least in the engineering team, is so much better for that than we would be, even if like our engineering might have been better from him, like dictating what we were doing. And that impact on the way I view the world and the way that a lot of people at RaiseMe view the world now is permanent. And he did the hardest of all things, which was build something really impactful and then give it away. And like we just couldn't be luckier.
Bobby, that's really number 1. And he just kind of said, I don't know anything about marketing. Like he told me exactly what he wanted out of a person. And he wanted out of a leader. And I think that is one of the most important things that you can do, where you are humble about what you don't know, and really, really strong and keen on what you do know. And he
knows what he wants and he checks out people. We made us all better for that. He raised the bar for everyone. And then after I joined, I thought, Dave is one of the best things. And then I met Buffy. And I realized Buffy may be among one of the best things. And I don't know if it was more therapeutic on our walks or moving together. It was either Buffy, which I am a huge fan of dogs, or it was Dave. But I can't thank Dave enough for his friendship and for the team that he's built and for the path that he's laid out and the headroom for the team here and the really high bar that is set for all of us to be very humble and to be really passive and really motivated. And I think we can't thank you enough for that. You've built such a strong culture that it's distinct and it's special and it's got your name all over it. We can't thank you enough for that. Cheers.
A lot of stock. Make me rich, all right? Let's do that thing. Let's make this happen.
Cheers, man. Cheers.
A yacht in the private island. That's what I want from you. To take to my yacht. That's what he's about. And the second house. I could use a second house. I could use college paid for. And this is Uptown.
I think at this point, we all work for you. That's
right.
From here on up, we're all working for you.
I'm a shareholder. And like I want you all to know, like I'm really, really happy. Like I'm gonna go on and do something else, and I love building things. Like I love building something from nothing. That is actually my purpose in life, and I'm gonna go do that again.
Right on.
KillMerlin.com.
By the way, there's a Kickstarter, KillMerlin.com.
Please sign
Say
up
it again,
for my mailing list.
KillMerlin.com.
Help me make that dream a reality, and I'll love you forever.
Did everyone hear KillMerlin.com?
Not kill Dave,
Everyone
though.
hear KillMerlin.com?
Is that me?
Please tell your friends, KillMerlin.com.
Just go there, sign up. I'll let you know.
Do you own KillMerlin.me? This matters.
KillMerlin.